Let's talk Tanya for the 5th of Sivan. We are middle of the introduction to Sharichud V'Amunah, and yesterday, the Alter Rebbe tells us that there are two different levels of love. There is the love of God, which is experienced by the great tzaddikim, a love which is characterized by tremendous pleasure. And then there is the love that the rest of us have, which is a love which is actually created through our contemplation. In chapters 11 and 12 of Devarim, Moshe Rabbeinu was speaking to the Jewish people, and he tells them, he says, Asher ni mitzava eschem hayoim la'asoisa la'ahava es Hashem elikechem. I'm commanding you to do something, which is to love God. And the obvious question is, how do you do love? Isn't that a feeling which either you have or you don't have? But that's actually what Moshe Rabbeinu was telling us. There is a love which you can do. There's a love which you can make, a love which you can create through using your minds. And if you look over there at the verses over there, Moshe Rabbeinu described to the Jewish people God's greatness and how God is the master of all the worlds. And then he says, Barak ba'avisecha chashak Hashem, of all the people in the world, God desired and wanted specifically you. And you were 70 people when you went down to Egypt, and God made you a great nation, took you out of Egypt. Moshe Rabbeinu is giving the Jewish people the meditations that are necessary in order to create a love for God. You know, we live in a world today where feelings are very important. Today you might even want to say we idolize feelings, and we're into talking about our feelings, thinking about our feelings, validating feelings. But the emphasis is on identifying and recognizing our feelings and accepting the feelings. In Judaism, feelings are very important also, but there's a slightly different emphasis, and that is the understanding that we control our feelings, and therefore it is within our hands to create a feeling that we want and to get rid of feelings that we don't want. That's why so many of the mitzvahs are connected with feelings. We have to love God. We have to love our fellow Jew. We're not allowed to hate our fellow Jew. We're not allowed to be jealous. When it comes the month of Adar, we need to be happy. When it comes the month of Av, we need to take the happiness down by a notch or two. And all of this is predicated on the understanding, which is Chabad, which is that using our minds and meditating allows us actually to create the feelings that we want to have. So even if we're not tzaddikim, we don't have a gift of having this tremendous love for God. Every single one of us still, we could have a love for God by using our minds, la'asoisa, and actually creating the feelings that we want. Now, we've described these two levels of feelings. The higher level of ava, of love, which is experienced by tzaddikim, the lower level, which is for the rest of us. Do tzaddikim have any use whatsoever for the lower level of love? Once they have this tremendous gift, this ava b'tanugim, this pleasurable love, do they have any need for the love which is created through contemplation? That will be the topic of discussion in tomorrow's Tanya.